The 2021 Northern Ireland riots are an ongoing series of riots in loyalist areas of Northern Ireland which began in Waterside, Londonderry on the 30th of March 2021. After 4 nights of rioting in loyalist areas of Londonderry, disturbances spread to South Belfast on the 2nd of April, followed by Newtonabbey on the 3rd of April. The riots occurred within a background of tension within loyalism in Northern Ireland. Loyalists and Unionists argued that post-Brexit trading arrangements have created barriers between Northern Ireland and the rest of the United Kingdom. Tensions had also arisen earlier in the week after authorities decided not to prosecute 24 Sinn Féin politicians after they attended the funeral of Bobby Storey during COVID-19 restrictions. The main Unionist parties, including First Minister Arlene Foster, called for the resignation of Simon Byrne, the Chief Constable of the PSNI, claiming he had lost the confidence of the community. Foster had tweeted, "Devastating outcome for public confidence in policing. There will be consequences." The riots began in the Unionist Tullyally estate. Petrol bombs and masonry were the main weapons used by rioters there and in the predominantly Unionist Rossdowney Road, Lincoln Court area. A nursing home in Nelson Drive, which police said caused untold fear and distress to residents. A digger was set alight as were pallets. 12 PSNI officers were injured, receiving injuries to heads, legs or feet. Disturbances broke out in the Sandy Row area of South Belfast on the 2nd of April. Rioters threw bottles, bricks and fireworks at police. 8 people were arrested including a 13-year-old boy. The PSNI said the ages of those arrested ranged from 13 to 25. Rioting broke out in loyalist areas of Newtonabbey during the evening of the 3rd of April. Chief Superintendent Darren Jones, area commander for Derry City and Strabane area, condemned the riots, saying, "A care home should be a place of sanctuary for some of the most vulnerable people in our society, and I would speak directly to those who were rioting last night. How would you feel if your grandmother or grandfather was in this care home and subjected to this violence?" Quote. He described the disorder as totally unacceptable. He also said, "I would ask that anyone who has any influence in communities, whether parents, guardians, community or elected representatives, please use that influence to ensure young people do not get caught up in criminality and that they are kept safe and away from harm." DUP councillor David Ramsey said the riot was so depressing to witness and I have worked with young people on the Waterside for many years. I have never seen anger like this. On the 2nd of April 2021, Chief Superintendent Simon Walls said a small local protest quickly developed into an attack on police. The following day he said it was a real tragedy that children as young as 13 or 14 were among the arrested. He added, "I think it's a tragedy that any child in Northern Ireland is sitting in a custody suite this morning and facing criminal investigation, possibility of being charged and possibility of facing a criminal conviction, and it shouldn't happen. And that's why I'm very keen that people with influence try to ask anyone intent on violence to please step back. It's not the way to resolve tensions or arguments." Stormont Justice Minister and Alliance Party leader Naomi Long said that the words used by political leaders have consequences. She tweeted, "This is in no one's best interests, not the officers dealing with it and not the mostly young people risking their futures by engaging in it, and it's incumbent on leaders to behave responsibly and dial down the inflammatory rhetoric over recent days." First Minister Arlene Foster also criticized the rioters, urging young people not to get drawn into disorder, and said violence will not make things better. She also said, "I know that many of our young people are hugely frustrated by the events of this last week, but causing injury to police officers will not make things better, and I appeal to our young people not to get drawn into disorder which will lead to them having criminal convictions and blighting their own lives. I also ask parents to play their part and be proactive in protecting their young adults." Sinn Féin MLA Paul Muscat said that young people were being used by sinister elements, and held the DUP responsible for stirring up tensions.